Today we are taking on josecmp, and before this battle we have made some changes to our team. For starters, we were running Crustle instead of Tyrantrum because we wanted to try something different. I felt like Crustle would be a bit more fun because we actually got the ideal moveset for it, whereas with Tyrantrum you're missing a lot of essential moves. And I'm also running Greninja now over Azumarill just to try it out because I've always wanted to use Ash Greninja, and this I figured would be a good opportunity to do so. So anyways, we start off with Crustle once again because it is our lead Pokemon. He goes with Ninjask, which is almost perfect for us because Crustle has one of the best matchups against Ninjask. We easily resist both stabs, and we can hit Ninjask back like a truck. So anyways, I do go ahead and set up the start rocks so that it will give us that benefit throughout the game, and then I start going for the Shell Smash because I wanted to get those stat boosts. And while I was doing that, he was actually going for a double team, which is pretty scary because initially I thought this was going to be a Battle Pass set where he would get the speed boost and the evasion boost, and then he would switch out into a powerful attacker and then set up a sweep. So I was just trying to attack and get him out of the game as quickly as possible, and he was setting this up. It was actually intimidating because it was just like I didn't know what was going to happen if I didn't actually land any hits, because he did have some powerful attackers available on his squad. But we wanted to Battle Pass out. That would not be ideal. So anyways, he goes for another double team, and unfortunately I missed my Rock Blast once again, and he gets another speed boost and another evasion boost, and he goes for another double team, which at this point is incredibly scary because I thought he was going to Battle Pass the next turn. But then we managed to land the Rock Blast, which instantly one-shots the Ninjask. And one thing I will say, if you're running that type of setup on Ninjask, you would probably want to be running Focus Sash as well, because even if you do manage to eventually get hit, at least you can Battle Pass out into something else which is better suited to taking the hits. But I guess he wasn't really thinking about that. So it is what it is, and it's fine because that benefited us greatly. So anyways, we go for the Rock Blast to take out the Gengar, and that in itself is enough to instantly dispatch it, which was another W, because we've already got a 2 Pokemon out for the life of our Stut Rock setter. This is literally a suicide lead. It's not really meant to do anything else other than setting up Stut Rocks and then just doing as much damage as it can. So that's that. But unfortunately our Rock Blast gets disabled, which kind of sucks because that is our best offensive tool. Rock type is an incredibly good offensive typing, so having the rock moves available is always a good thing, but unfortunately that would not be the case in this battle. So anyways, I do go for the X Scissor to try and dish out some good damage. And one thing I did want to run over X Scissor was Earthquake, because against steel types it would provide a lot more better coverage than the bug type X Scissor. But unfortunately I don't have access to that TM right now, and X Scissor was the only available move I could use, which is why I used that instead. But in this situation it actually came in handy because we were able to dispatch the Lugia purely because we had that available. And if we didn't, then we would probably have to switch out because Earthquake wouldn't be able to hit it, and neither would we be able to Rock Blast because that move was disabled. So anyways, he goes into Excadrill. And really just in general, steel types are great checks to this type of setup that I have right now in Crustle, because I can't actually affect them unless I have Earthquake. So none of my moves actually do good enough, super effective or neutral damage. So that would be a good counter if you have that available, and then you could go for a hard-hitting Iron Head and take out the Crustle. And one thing I definitely do want to change out in the future is the item, because if I ran White Herb over the Lumberry that I have on right now, I'd actually be able to cancel out the special and regular defense boosts, and I'm probably going to do that in the future. But for now, we're sticking with the Lumberry because this battle there's not much we can do. So I go for the X Scissor, and luckily the turn before he went for a Horn Drill, and I'm not entirely sure how that move works, but if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's a one-shot move where you have to be a higher level than your opponent for it to actually connect and have an effect. And luckily in this scenario it does not connect because he is not a higher level than us. And he goes into his Lucario, and for that we respond by going for the X Scissor, which doesn't do any damage at all to him, which is actually a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. And then he goes for the Aura Spear, which does crazy high damage, and that's most likely because of the special defense drop we got from the Shell Smash. And then he goes for the Extreme Speed to finish us off before he can deal any additional damage. So my next response is to go into Delphox, And I initially wanted to go for the Fire Blast and just remove him. I just wanted to revenge kill him, and unfortunately for us, we do get a bit unlucky with the RNG because we missed the Fire Blast, and then he is able to land his Aura Spear. I don't know why he thought this was going to be an ideal move because the Fox resisted it, but it does still do good damage because you got a critical hit. And then he of course goes for his extreme speed because he knows he's not going to outspeed us, and we probably land their Fire Blast, so he may as well get some additional damage, which is smart thinking. So that's that. There goes his Lucario, which I say is probably his best Pokemon so far. Then he goes into Blaziken, and unfortunately for him, Blaziken has a terrible matchup against Delphox, and we are able to finish it with the Psyshock. And that's one thing I do like about Delphox. Anything that it outspeeds and has a good matchup against, it will easily kill and terminate, and that's what makes it fun to use. And that was GG.